What's up, folks? This is Mark. How you doing? And today I'm gonna review the Avengers, which I just got back from seeing. And this is, I've been planning on doing these types of movie reviews for a while now. Just haven't really gotten around to it. But in the future, these will be a little bit better produced. I'll actually have like cutscenes and video from the actual movie and shit like that. But anyway, so I went and saw this, and and I'm back now, and I'm eating my falafel, and figured we should talk about it. So, damn, that's good. Where to start? This movie was pretty good. I don't know. I wouldn't go as far to say that it kicked ass or that it was in Dark Knight territory, but it was, out of all the Marvel superhero movies that have been coming out lately, this is probably the best one, better than any of the other ones. I mean, I really liked some of the other, I really liked the Captain America movie, and I really liked the Hulk, and, but this is just, they keep getting better, let's put it that way. And I'm actually very happy about that, because the Avengers was actually something that I used to read back in the day when I was in, like, junior high school, I actually used to read that one, and Captain America, and the Hulk, and Iron Man, and Thor, right? So, I probably have, like, 20 to 50 issues of each hanging out in the closet back there, and the Avengers, and the West Coast Avengers. I used to read all of these, so, I'm pretty up on, I think I'm a good judge of what it should be, right? And I'd say that it met expectations, it was, I'm not going to give away any spoilers that you can't get just from looking at the, preview, so don't worry about it. But essentially what the story is Loki shows up and then tries to start a war and take over the Earth. That's it. And then S.H.I.E.L.D. comes and they get the Avengers and they go and blow shit up in New York. And that's pretty much the story, removing all of the important stuff. And it was pretty fucking good. I was one of the things I was afraid of when this was, because they've been building up to this movie for the last, 5 years or whatever. And one of the things I was afraid of is that there might have been too much competition for FaceTime. When you have too many stars in a movie, too many big stars in a movie, too many leading men or women, right? They tend to fight for FaceTime, and it's like one guy gets this much time versus that much time, and who's the main character and all that shit, right? And this movie does a very good job of balancing that between Captain America and Iron Man and Thor, essentially, and Nick Fury. Those are essentially the four main characters, and then the other people are kind of, secondary, which I was a little bit, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of the Hulk in there. He seems to only really have 2 scenes, and you don't really get to get much out of him, and I really would have liked to have seen more of Thor. Thor has very little screen time by himself, he has a lot of screen time with him fighting and shit like that, but not a lot of development to the Thor's character. But Cap and Iron Man, of course, are they kind of steal the show here, and it makes sense because they're kind of the leaders of the Avengers, and plus Robert Downey Jr. is like probably the biggest star. Him and Samuel Jackson are probably the biggest faces in this movie, so they get the most screen time, obviously. But anyway, at least from what I could tell. But it was pretty good, I was very paranoid that this movie was going to suck. I was very afraid, When the Captain America movie came out, I was actually very satisfied with it. A lot of people I talked to said it was too cheesy or whatever, but I thought it was really, really good, And same with that one. This movie has a lot of little Easter eggs here and there. There's a part where Nick Fury comes out with a bazooka and he shoots this plane, and it's taken from one of the Ultimate Avengers animated movies. It's like right out of that, you wouldn't recognize that unless you saw this movie. Like, he comes out and he's standing the exact same way, and he's got the exact same weapon, and it's like, ooh, Samuel Jackson. And there's a few other scenes like that where they pay homage to, they did the same thing in Captain America. Like, there's a part where the Red Skull's holding the cube, and it's like right off of a cover, one of the famous covers of the Red Skull holding the cosmic cube. Like, they did that in the Captain America movie. Same kind of shit in this. There's lots. In fact, I want to see it again because it's pretty long, you know, and there's probably all kinds of stuff in there that I missed, right? Um, but I think they handled it really well. I really would have liked to have seen Edward Norton Jr. reprise his role as Bruce Banner. I think that would have tied it together nicely, but the guy that they did get, who I don't really recognize because I can't remember fucking actors' names and shit, the guy they did get did a decent enough job, and the Hulk looks good. One of the complaints that I had, I didn't like of the other Hulk movies, is that the actual Hulk model looked like it was made out of fucking rubber. This one still has a little bit of that. It's still, there's a part where he's fighting Thor and he goes, "Brah," and then Thor does this, and he's like, and there's this forearm hanging out. It's like, you know, and it looks like it's like balloony. Like there's a little bit of that, but it's not anything that's too distracting. One thing I can say though is that I did see it in 3D, and I don't really like 3D. I want to see it again without the 3D, because 3D, in my opinion, is a fucking gimmick, and it's distracting. And I don't know about you people, but when I wear those fucking 3D glasses, I can't concentrate on shit. It's like the hand, you know, it's like this thing. You only see this, and then everything else is blurry, and it's like artificial. It's like it forces you. I don't know. It doesn't really work with my visual cortex. Maybe other people, it's like natural and shit, but when I do it, it's just gimmicky as fuck. And it's like, I kept wanting to take them off, right? But then it'd be like blurry, and it's like, fuck, now I gotta put it back on. And it's like, you know, it doesn't give me a headache, any shit like that. It's just, I feel like I missed a lot because of those fucking 3D glasses. And I can't wait for the 3D gimmick to just go the fuck away. Okay. Anyway, getting back to the movie. It was good, you know. Directed by Joss Whedon, who, if you don't know who he is, he directed Firefly, or created Firefly and like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And there is, you know, a few parts where you can kind of tell, like, alright, there are some decisions I would have done differently, but, you know, whatever the fuck, I'm no director. But anyway, like, there's a part where they're in this room arguing, you know, and it's Cap and Iron Man and Thor and fucking Nick Fury, and basically there's like 5 alpha males in this room arguing, and you know, it's essentially Buffy and her friends arguing. That's what it reminded me of. Like there's in Buffy the Vampire Slayer in season 6, there's like all these love triangles and shit going on, and they're constantly fucking arguing, and the scene where they're just like bickering, that's what they're doing, they're bickering, and it's like alpha males, big strong men, like, don't bicker like that, you know. Men fucking yell at each other and get up in each other's faces, and what the fuck, you know what I mean? I was just waiting for, like, you know, for like fucking Cap to get up in Thor's face or something and just bitch him the fuck out, and it didn't do that. It never elevated past the part of like bickering like women, you know, that kind of part. I was just like, what? But thankfully that only lasted like 5 minutes, you know, or something like that. It was very short, very short. And then after that, there was no more of that. So I was like, all right, that's cool. There's one other part in this movie that some people I know are gonna give it shit over. There's one scene where Captain America, he's there, and you know, one of the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents goes, well, these people, these Asgardians, they're like gods. And then Captain America says, there's only one god, and he doesn't dress like that, and it's because Loki's wearing these horns, you know. And I know people are gonna somebody out there is gonna give this movie some shit over that, you know. And it's like, you know, the thing is, I'm not a religious person, right? I know that line, I know this line is going to antagonize some people. Somebody out there is gonna talk shit about this line, and it's like, the thing is that it fits the character absolutely fucking perfectly. It's like Captain America is supposed to be this guy from the 1940s who is transplanted in time, and he's here and you know, in modern day, and he has no idea what the fuck is going on. And the thing is that, you know, it makes sense that he would be like old-fashioned, you know, a conservative, you know, or even a Christian. It makes plenty of fucking sense, you know. So it's like, I don't even give a fuck. I mean, Captain America would be a Republican, but the old school Republicans that were actually, before they were insane, that's what he would be. But anyway, enough. No politics this time. But anyhow, so just, you know, ignore that fucking line, and if you have a problem with that line, you're a moron. That's all I can really say. If you're that much of a anti-fucking religious atheist dumb shit that can't even handle one fucking mention of, you know, you're stupid. If that line pisses you off, you're fucking stupid, okay? It means nothing. It's a line in a movie, and that is actually very, fits completely, totally well with the character, so whatever. So would I recommend this? Yes, I would recommend this movie. It's, not too long. It's, does a good job of balancing all of the characters, and most of them actually have, like, stuff to do in the movie. Nobody is really window dressing. That's another thing, except for maybe Hawkeye, but, which Hawkeye himself actually kind of kicks ass in this movie, too. I would have liked to have seen some kind of headgear on Hawkeye. I know it's just like a dude with a bow. It's like, they should have gave him some kind of goggles or something with, like, something sticking out to make it kind of look like the Hawkeye mask. That's what they should have done. But anyhow, but even he still does, the actor that plays Hawkeye does a badass job, even though I think his character's a little underutilized. But for the rest of them, they all, especially Iron Man, they all kind of have stuff to do, and they all grow and all that shit, and there's plenty of ass kicking, and plus there's like these giant flying worm things at the end, which are pretty impressive, and even with the 3D, like the final battle at the end, which lasts like fucking forever. The final battle just fucking it's like, damn, it goes on and on and on, but it's like, doesn't get boring. That's the thing, it doesn't like slow down, or you don't get tired of it, you're just like, yeah. And the Hulk just totally whips everybody's ass. It's pretty good. I don't want to give anything away, but the end, it's not cheesy. Put it that way. It's not cheesy. They're jokes. The jokes are actually kind of sort of funny. There's a few of them that are just a little like, okay, that's kind of dumb, but the jokes are not stupid for the most part. And they happen at the right times, right? And it's definitely worth seeing. So I don't know. That's my review, and I will have more reviews of movies in the future, which will be a lot better than this one, because I just made this whole thing up. I didn't write anything or whatever. But, in the future, my movie reviews will be a little bit, like I said before, better produced. I'm going to have footage of the movies and commentary and all that shit. And, my DVD collection, I showed it here once, is just fucking off the hook, so I got to start doing some movie reviews. So anyway, thanks a lot, folks. Bye. And hello folks, while I have your attention, I just want to let you all know that I am going to be appearing at the Long Beach Comic Expo, which is a one-day show that's going to be in the Long Beach Convention Center this May 12th. Tickets are on sale now, and they're $15 for the day, and I'm going to be there selling comics with my good friend from Carter Comics, and everything is going to be awesome. So please come on down and see us, and I hope to see you all there. Adios.